Okay, this is Touching Spirit Bear, chapter 13, part 2. It's page 105 in the larger book. I have no idea what it's in the other book. I'm starting off with the paragraph where it says Garvey glanced. Garvey glanced at Edwin, who kept his focused gaze. Rosie returned to the bed, her hands filled with rolls of gauze and brown plastic bottle. Garvey moved away from the bed to give her room. "You get some rest while Rosie finishes patching you up," he said to Cole. "Can't do much patching," Rosie said. He has broken bones. I wish we had him in a hospital tonight." Cole closed his eyes while Rosie cleaned and bandaged his wounds. The medicine made him sleepy. Finishing her work, Rosie whispered to Garvey, "That bear had quite a time with him. He has broken ribs and maybe broken pelvis," which is his hip bones. "And add to that hypothermia and a broken leg and arm. I'm surprised he's even talking. Must be a tough kid." "Not as tough as he thinks," Garvey whispered back. That's actually kind of a big thing, because part of it is that Cole needs to realize that he's not the toughest thing in the world. Although we know that he's been through a lot, so understanding that his life has been difficult has made him tough, and maybe that toughness is also what makes him have a really thick wall around him, which we're trying to break through now. Edwin murmured, "He'll be okay if he ever finds a reason to live." So that's the first question that I'm actually posing. What do you think would give Cole a reason to live? Like, he needs to find something that motivates him, that drives him. We all have something that kind of makes us want to move forward. So what is it for Cole that's going to make him move forward? That's question number one. What is it that makes Cole want to move forward? Cole heard everyone's words as he drifted off to sleep, so he heard them talking. He slept troubled, dreaming of people he knew coming toward him out of a misty haze. Each person helped him. Garvey fed him. Rosie fixed his wounds. His father gave him money. Edwin offered him advice. His mother cleaned him and handed him new clothes. Cole liked being helped. He liked using people. That's actually kind of a big thing too, because the choice of the word using doesn't give us an example of something positive. When you use people, it's negative. So it's like feeding the monster in Cole. If somebody helps him, it's like giving him more power. I just find that an interesting choice of words. Suddenly, in the dream, a bolt of lightning struck and all three people turned into monsters. Everything they had done for Cole faded, and they laughed at him. "You fool," they called. "Why should we do anything for you? You're nothing. You're a baby-faced con." Cole awoke in a sweat. It was night. He searched the darkness frantically. He heard regular breaths near him in the dark. "Garvey," he called, realizing he could talk. "Garvey?" Garvey's hoarse voice answered. "You okay, Cole?" Cole heard someone getting up to snap the lights on. Garvey, still wearing his rumpled jeans and faded wool shirt, hurried to the bedside. A door opened from the next room and Rosie rushed in. "What's wrong?" she asked. So I guess the importance of that section is that when Cole woke up from the nightmare, Garvey was sitting with him through the night. Garvey has no reason personally to do that, so this is showing something about Garvey. So question number 2 is, what does this reflect about who Garvey is as a person? The fact that he's sitting there in the hospital in Drake with Cole. That was question number 2. Cole looked at the two of them. His nightmare still haunting him. "I had a dream," he said, his voice raspy. "People helped me, then they turned into monsters and they laughed at me." "It was just a dream," Garvey said, resting his hand on Cole's arm. "But you two were there," Cole said. Rosie took Cole's hand in hers. "Well, I'm not a monster," she smiled. "Maybe Garvey is." Cole didn't smile. "Why do you guys help me?" Rosie looked at her watch. "I'm sure it isn't for the pay and good hours." Then she shrugged. "Why live if you can't help others and make the world a better place?" That's kind of a big statement too. So now that gives me the idea that our square that we've been working on before, where it's the Spirit Bear, Garvey, Edwin, maybe Cole himself, has now become a pentagon, where now we're adding Rosie to one of the people that's helping Cole, like another spark, another guide on his change. She says again, I'm going to say it again, why live if you can't help others and make the world a better place? So what do you think Rosie's providing for Cole? Cole looked up at Garvey. Why do you help me? Because we're friends. Cole let his frustration show. No, you didn't even know me when you first started helping me in Minneapolis. Garvey studied Cole before answering. You're right. I did it for myself. Cole nodded. That's what I figured. You didn't care about me. You're wrong, Garvey said. I did care about you, but helping others is how I help myself. You need help? Cole asked, surprised. Garvey nodded. I see a lot of myself in you. When I was your age, so now we're getting his backstory. We're learning why Garvey is the way he is. When I was your age, I spent 5 long years in prison for things I'll go to my grave regretting. I lived my early years here in Drake, but no one cared enough to take me through Circle Justice. If they had, maybe things would have been different. He shook his head with a sad smile. Take my word for it. Jail scars the soul. And I was never able to help those I hurt. So that's the end of where I'm going to go. So the phrase, jail scars the soul, is my 4th and final question for this section in part 2 of chapter 13. What do you think it means that jail scars the soul when Garvey asked that to Cole? So I'll see you guys at 11, and there are 4 questions. Watch the video, take notes, have answers ready.